Have you ever wanted to be someone else, someone younger, smarter, thinner, wealthier, more influential, or in my case, just taller? I'm 5'7". That's kind of short for a guy. All jokes aside, I have thought far too often and far too long on the idea of being someone else. There have been times in my life that I felt were so difficult. I honestly just wanted to be anyone else. But my calamity is that I deal with the same kind of stuff that many of you have heard throughout your life. You should never want to be someone else. Be yourself. It's the kind of thing that covers inspirational posters and calendars and coffee table quote books. I don't necessarily like me all the time. And there have been plenty of situations where people vocal about the fact that they didn't like me so much either. During the most difficult times, telling me to be myself adds more stress because I don't really necessarily know fully well who or what that might be. And from what I've known about myself so far, is I have habits that I can't seem to break. I adorn myself in jewelry and clothing that doesn't really even convey who I am. Some call it an outfit. To me, it feels like a costume. I fill my home with items that produce more stress and clutter than giving me a sense of peace and rejuvenation. There are lies I tell, some to others, but the most dangerous ones to myself. I know that there are other people who feel that way, feel disconnected from who they are, a longing to be someone else. I did some heavy research, and as it turns out, in my quest to be more liked by others, because let's be honest, the more we're liked by others, the more we like ourselves. Though as we mature in life, we realize the more we like and love ourselves, the more receptive and responsive people will be to liking and loving us. In the meantime, I watch and I watch and I see it turns out we love superheroes. We can't get enough of the idea of superheroes. Even at the height of the quarantine, there were not one but two movies in select theaters about superheroes. We can't get enough. You see these stories of people with incredible abilities, flight, superhuman strength, speed. So if I could be as close to some kind of superhero, maybe I'd feel powerful enough to be okay with being me. If I could do something for someone else, I could be someone else in that moment. But how in the world would I ever have that opportunity? And then I realized we've all seen an opportunity to be something better than what we are, something better for someone else. Imagine, if you will, it's 8:45 a.m. You're on your way to work. By the way, you have 15 minutes to get there. You know it's going to take 22. When you get there, you're going to get a condescending email from your boss that you are actively trying to avoid. But here's what happens. On this particularly unfortunate morning, the driver just in front of you hits some debris on the highway and boom, tire explodes. They're sent veering uncontrollably into the concrete barricade, the perimeter of the highway itself. They stop, smoke fumes from the hood of their vehicle. The first thing you think is, I should stop. I should see if they're okay. I should at least call 911 and have someone sent out here to take care of them. That's the first thing you should think. But sadly, the second thing many of us think is, well, I have places to be. I have people I'm held accountable to. We'd like to think that we would stop everything to help a stranger, but what life has shown is we make some quick assumptions. I'm sure they're okay. I'm sure they own a cell phone. I'm sure they're going to call someone. I'm sure someone else. I mean, I'm one of 10 other drivers right here. I did quick math. I realized there's nine other people who saw what I saw. One of them, someone else will stop. Scary thing, the sad thing is that all those people are thinking the same thing about you, and suddenly everyone pulls away. When we assume someone else will, oftentimes no one else does. It's a psychological phenomenon called the bystander effect. Basically, the more people that are around to see something horrible happen, the less likely anyone is to do something about it. You would say, well, I'm pretty good about maintaining my vehicle. I can't imagine that happening to me. Well, it did. In some small way, around March of 2020, we all found ourselves spiraling uncontrollably into a situation that left us feeling abandoned, stressed, isolated. We were longing for someone else to help. We found ourselves looking for someone else to let us know it was okay to be afraid, okay not to know. We're always looking for someone else. We're always looking for, in our relationships, we say, if I was with someone else, I'd feel loved and appreciated. At our jobs, we say, if I worked for someone else, I would feel acknowledged and properly compensated. And then politically, we say, well, I'm sure someone else will come in and right what's been wrong and fix what's been broken. We're always waiting for someone else. I have found that being someone else for someone else is one of the most amazing experiences any of us can ever know. It's my personal belief that a vast majority of the people who died from COVID, especially those that were hospitalized, they died not because of the strength of the virus, but because of the feelings of isolation. Life is a constant battle for many, especially those that are ill. And like any battle, it's hard to keep fighting when you have not seen your allies, when you don't know how far away they are. All the rations and ammunition don't make up for someone willing to take your hand and say, I'm here with you through this. So if you want to save a life, luckily you don't need flight, strength, or speed. You want to save a life, all you need is a few minutes and to give someone the time and attention you both deserve to share. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? Because as it turns out, that's exactly who the world needs. Thank you.